things that you've seen from Shedeur just even over the last couple of weeks as he's continued to come up the learning curve, just from a mental standpoint and physical standpoint?
I'd just tell you, Mary Kay, all of our young players work really hard in this building, utilizing all the resources that we have.
Kevin Stefanski has finally addressed the rumors surrounding Shedeur Sanders' rookie season, and the reaction has been explosive. After months of speculation that the former Browns head coach intentionally limited Sanders' opportunities, Stefanski spoke publicly to clarify his position, but instead of calming the debate, his comments sparked a new wave of controversy. Fans quickly began revisiting last season's decisions, questioning whether the story being told now truly reflects what happened on the field.
Yeah, like I told you guys on Wednesday, I'm always thinking about our players and what's best for our players, and I want to make sure when it comes to young football players, particularly at the quarterback position, that you are intentional about your decision making, and that's really all it is. So excited for all of our guys.
For months, the narrative surrounding Kevin Stefanski and Shedeur Sanders has been dominated by one question: did the Browns coaching staff intentionally limit the rookie quarterback's opportunities? That question resurfaced when Stefanski recently spoke about Sanders during a media appearance, attempting to address the speculation directly. According to Stefanski, the idea that he sabotaged Sanders' development is completely inaccurate. He emphasized that he respected the young quarterback and believed in his long-term potential. Stefanski described Sanders as a player with the right mindset for the NFL, pointing to his toughness and resilience during difficult stretches of the season.
I'm going to say it again. Kevin Stefanski must be fired. I'm going to say it again and again and again. Kevin Stefanski did not want Shedeur Sanders, didn't even want him in the 5th round.
From Stefanski's perspective, the rookie season was simply part of a normal development process. Young quarterbacks rarely enter the league and immediately dominate. Mistakes happen, adjustments take time, and the learning curve can be steep. Stefanski suggested that Sanders' progress late in the season showed exactly why patience matters. However, his comments quickly triggered a strong reaction from Browns fans online. Instead of accepting the explanation, many supporters began pointing out moments from the season that seemed to contradict Stefanski's narrative.
Decided yet if Shedeur is ready to be your number 2 quarterback for this game?
Yeah, Shedeur will be the backup.
Social media filled with clips and discussions highlighting situations where Sanders appeared to have a short leash or limited opportunities compared to other quarterbacks on the roster. For those fans, Stefanski's new comments felt less like clarification and more like an attempt to reshape the story after the fact.
Even yanking Shedeur again for the potential tying 2-point conversion, going with the Wildcat, it was a disaster. After Shedeur had shown again and again, he's the answer in the red zone for the Cleveland Browns.
That reaction reflects how deeply the situation affected the Cleveland fan base. Sanders became a symbol of hope for a franchise searching for stability at quarterback. Because of that, every decision involving his playing time was examined closely. Stefanski may have hoped his explanation would quiet the rumors. Instead, it reopened the entire debate about what really happened during Sanders' rookie year. One of the biggest reasons the controversy continues to grow is the timeline of Sanders' rookie season. Fans have spent months reviewing when the quarterback finally entered the starting lineup and how long it took before he was given a legitimate opportunity to lead the offense.
Shedeur does get in the game. Do you feel confident that he can run most of the concepts and plays that Dylan does, or do you have to kind of change it up?
Yeah, I think with any quarterback that is in there, you're always playing to their strengths.
Early in the season, Sanders was not the primary option under center. The Browns initially relied on other quarterbacks while Sanders waited on the sideline. During that period, the team struggled offensively, yet the coaching staff remained cautious about inserting the rookie into the starting role. For many fans, that delay raised immediate questions. If Sanders was viewed as a long-term franchise quarterback, why wasn't he given earlier opportunities to develop on the field?
Kevin Stefanski full of shit. That's the type of coach that
Hold on.
you talk about instilling confidence into your players. How do you think that makes Shedeur feel? I don't know who the backup is.
Yeah.
You got to be kidding me. You really gonna bring up Bailey Zappi from the practice squad and make him the backup over me and I've been on the active roster? Either Kevin Stefanski thinks Shedeur Sanders is Magic City parking lot, straight ass, or he just don't like him. This is the perfect example of take all your confidence away from a player. He must got some pictures or some evidence on Jimmy Haslam. Like, I've never seen anything like this.
Supporters argue that young quarterbacks improve through experience. Practice reps and film study are important, but real game situations provide the most valuable lessons. Waiting too long to play a promising rookie can slow that growth. Once Sanders finally took over, the team's energy appeared to shift. While the results were not perfect, the offense showed flashes of creativity and resilience. Sanders demonstrated mobility, arm strength, and the ability to extend plays under pressure.
With Kevin Stefanski running the show, and trying to sabotage Shedeur Sanders. My God, an 80-yard drive in 7 plays, second and goal at the 7. He throws the sweet little fade to Fan. It was a beautiful ball. 7 yards for a touchdown. And here we win again. He's been doing this to Shedeur again and again and again. They go Wildcat. Why? Shedeur he just ran it in. It was a great 7-yard run to cut the score to 31-23, and then he just throws the little fade ball. He's who you've been looking for. What are you doing, Stefanski? You just couldn't stand to see Shedeur tie the game. You couldn't stand to have to stand up there after the game and answer questions about what you've been doing to Shedeur, how you have been sabotaging, how you've been trying to stunt the kid's growth. You just couldn't stand it, so you go Wildcat, genius move. And Judkins, I don't know, they probably practiced the play one time. Judkins goes right.
Those moments convinced many fans that he should have been playing sooner. This is why Stefanski's recent comments have sparked such a strong reaction. When he claims that the rookie's development followed a normal path, critics immediately point to the earlier weeks of the season as evidence that the situation was anything but typical. To them, the timeline tells a different story. Instead of a smooth development plan, they see a rookie who was forced to wait while the offense struggled, only receiving his chance once circumstances left the coaching staff with few alternatives. That perception continues to fuel the debate today. Among the many moments fans reference when discussing the Stefanski controversy, one decision stands out more than any other. It happened during a crucial late-season game when the Browns lined up for a potential game-changing two-point conversion. With the entire outcome hanging in the balance, many fans expected Sanders to lead the play. After all, the quarterback had shown the ability to improvise and make plays under pressure throughout the season. Instead, Stefanski made a surprising decision. Sanders was pulled off the field for the play. The move immediately triggered confusion among commentators and fans watching the game. In high-pressure situations, coaches usually rely on their starting quarterback to execute the most important plays. Removing him suggested something different.
I don't know who the backup is.
Bro.
Listen, players in the locker room that like Shedeur off of that comment, they don't mess with Kevin Stefanski. They don't fuck, because you are really trying to lower this man's confidence. Shedeur, I don't know him. He comes off as uber confident.
Yeah.
These type of statements makes you think, I'm not that good.
For some observers, it raised doubts about whether the coaching staff truly trusted Sanders in key moments. Supporters of Stefanski argue that the decision may have been strategic. Coaches occasionally use creative formations or unexpected personnel changes to catch defenses off guard. From that perspective, the play could have been part of a larger tactical plan. But many Browns fans interpreted the moment differently. They saw it as a signal that the head coach lacked confidence in his quarterback. That perception became even more powerful after the play failed to produce the desired result. In hindsight, the decision appeared to reinforce the idea that Sanders was being managed too cautiously, instead of being empowered to lead. Even months later, that moment remains one of the most discussed plays of the season. For fans who believe Sanders deserved greater trust, the two-point conversion decision represents the clearest example of why they remain skeptical of Stefanski's recent comments. Another element that intensified the controversy involves the role of Brown's ownership during the final weeks of the season. Reports emerged that team owner Jimmy Haslam informed Stefanski about his firing before the last game had even been played. In the NFL, coaching changes typically occur after the regular season concludes. Owners usually evaluate the entire year before making major decisions about leadership. The timing of this situation was unusual. If the reports are accurate, Stefanski entered the final game knowing that his tenure with the team was already over. That revelation immediately sparked speculation why the organization made the decision so early. Some analysts believe the move reflected deep frustration within the franchise. The Browns had invested significant resources into building a competitive roster, yet the season had been filled with inconsistency and internal tension. Others believe the decision may have been influenced by the team's long-term plans at quarterback. If the ownership believed Sanders represented the future of the franchise, they may have felt a new coaching approach was necessary to support his development. In that context, the early decision to move on from Stefanski could have been about protecting the organization's most important investment. Quarterback stability often determines the success of an NFL team. If the front office believed Sanders needed a different environment to grow, acting quickly may have seemed like the best option. Regardless of the exact reason, the timing of the coaching change added another layer of drama to an already complicated situation. It also strengthened the perception among some fans that deeper disagreements existed inside the organization. Despite all the controversy surrounding coaching decisions and media narratives, the central debate still revolves around one simple question: how should Shedeur Sanders' rookie season actually be judged? Rookie quarterbacks almost always experience ups and downs. The transition from college football to the NFL is one of the most difficult adjustments in professional sports. Defenses are faster, playbooks are more complex, and every mistake is amplified under national attention. Sanders faced those challenges also navigating a difficult team environment. The Browns dealt with offensive line issues, injuries to key players, and constant pressure from opposing defenses. Those conditions can make life very difficult for even experienced quarterbacks. Supporters argue that Sanders showed encouraging signs despite those obstacles. He displayed arm strength, mobility, and the ability to extend plays when protection broke down. More importantly, he demonstrated resilience in high-pressure situations. Those traits often matter more than short-term statistics. Critics, however, focus on the mistakes. Interceptions, sacks, and missed opportunities became major talking points during the season. From that perspective, the rookie campaign was inconsistent and raised questions about long-term development. The truth likely lies somewhere between those two interpretations. Sanders' first season may not have been perfect, but it also provided valuable evidence of his potential. With improved support, better protection, and a more stable environment, his growth could accelerate significantly. That is why the debate remains so intense. For many fans, the rookie season was only the beginning of Sanders' story. The reaction from Browns fans has been intense, and it shows how deeply the situation surrounding Shedeur Sanders resonated with the Cleveland fan base. Social media filled with debates, highlight clips, and screenshots from last season as supporters tried to piece together their own interpretation of events. Many fans believe Sanders was placed in an extremely difficult situation and still managed to show flashes of real potential.
Others have focused on specific coaching decisions that appeared to limit the rookie's opportunities. Moments like the two-point conversion controversy and the delayed promotion to the starting lineup are frequently mentioned as examples of questionable trust from the coaching staff. At the same time, some fans defend Stefanski, arguing that developing a rookie quarterback requires caution and patience. That divide has turned the situation into one of the most discussed storylines in Cleveland football, with opinions split between frustration and understanding. While the debate about Stefanski's role may continue, the focus now shifts to Shedeur Sanders and his future with the franchise. Rookie seasons rarely define a quarterback's career. What matters most is how players build on that initial experience and continue developing their skills. For Sanders, the upcoming season represents an opportunity to prove that the flashes he showed as a rookie can become consistent production. With more experience, improved chemistry with teammates, and potentially a new coaching approach, his environment could look very different. Quarterbacks often take significant steps forward in their second and third seasons once the speed of the game slows down and their confidence grows. If Sanders continues progressing, the controversy surrounding his rookie year may eventually be remembered as just the beginning of his development rather than the defining chapter of his career.